What's going on, everybody? Gabriel Santos here, the author of Marijuana Mindfulness, the ebook. In this video, it's really intended for people who are early on in their journeys, particularly with their weed use or in no-fap, but particularly weed use, all right? If you're someone who has found this video and you're just starting to look for answers on how to gain some self-control in marijuana, first, I encourage you to check out the other videos on this channel. Many of these videos are dedicated towards helping people such as yourself. And in terms of my story, I'm someone who smoked weed for about 8 years every day, almost every day. And early on, I knew that I wanted to have more self-control, but I was seemingly unable to do so. And over time, as I kept smoking weed, even though I made promises that I wouldn't, right? I started to develop a sense of dependency, emotional dependency, mental dependency. And over time, after a person says they're going to do something, but they don't, and in particular, when it comes to, like a substance, it's easy to just categorize yourself as addicted, right? And so my message for you, watching this is, try not to judge yourself too hard on this journey. And what I mean by that is, it is particularly challenging for anybody to instill discipline and self-control in their life, right? And my message to you is, and this is from experience, all right, understanding yourself, not just your personality or your character traits, but yourself as a human being and the mechanisms that make up a human being, right? I'm talking about how the brain works, how our brain is literally set up for survival. It's not set up for happiness, okay? If you've been on other channels or read some of this material before, you're probably familiar with the pleasure pain principle. And basically our brains are wired to seek pleasure and avoid pain. Okay, and what I've learned in my journey, which I've shared in other videos, is that for someone who has smoked weed for a long time, very consistently, that's a lot of pleasure. And it gets to a point where an individual is so used to smoking weed, so used to feeling stoned, so used to feeling comfortable, and if we're going to get scientific, so used to having dopamine through marijuana, that not smoking, not being stoned, and not having that dopamine rush, it feels painful. All right, and so naturally, if you feel painful, you're going to want to relieve that pain. At least your brain is going to want to seek to relieve that pain. And one of the main ways to relieve pain of any kind is to smoke weed, all right? And so my point is that if you're someone who smoked weed for a long time, whether it's a year, 2 years, 20 years, you have essentially created this neural path in your brain that is dependent on smoking weed to feel good. And it is natural for your body, your brain, and your emotions to feel a certain level of suffering and discomfort and pain when you don't smoke weed. And that's normal. And that's normal. All right? It's going to be normal. It's normal that it's going to feel painful. It's normal that it's going to feel like you're suffering to some degree. That's part of it. All right? But my message to you also is that in some ways, if we're being honest, you are the one responsible for that level of suffering. And you didn't mean to do this, right? You didn't know that smoking weed every day was going to become this much of a problem for you. You didn't know it was going to be this much of an issue for you, right? And so because you are the one who smoked weed all these years, you are now experiencing the consequences of that decision. And so here's my call to action for you, because this is really what it is, okay? The sooner you get this under control, the sooner you're able to instill some discipline into your life around marijuana, the sooner you will no longer have to experience these feelings of pain and suffering that come with not smoking. because you either pay the price now or you pay the price later. And the thing is, the longer you keep smoking and you're unable to become independent from it, the harder it's going to get. The harder it's going to get, right? It's like, I mean, and this is not to say that there are many cases, I'm sure, where someone smoked weed for 20 years and one day they just stopped, all right? But if you're on this video, I have faith that at least some part of this video, some part of this message will help you out. And like I said, if you're looking for more support, I highly encourage you to watch the other videos on this channel. And if you're even more encouraged to find more help, I wrote a book called Marijuana Mindfulness. It's an ebook. It's available on Amazon for it's $6.99 on Amazon. But if you want just a PDF file, which is basically the same thing, you can go on my website. It'll be for, I believe, $4.99, right? $5, okay? I have plenty of people who have emailed me over the years. The book itself has about 10 reviews on Amazon, but I've had many of people over the years share with me how much this book has helped them, how after reading this book, they've been able to go longer than they ever have before in terms of, installing discipline in their life around marijuana. But regardless, you don't need to spend money if you don't want to, or you don't have the means. There's plenty of resources and knowledge on this channel for you to get support from. All right. Make sure you leave a comment down below and share your journey and share your thoughts and anything that you feel you want more support from. There are tons of people, not tons, but there are people who watch these videos just like you that will reach out to you in the comment section if you ask for help. All right, guys, that's everything for today. Sorry for the raspy voice. I'm not sick, but I have a little bit of a cough. All right, anyways, guys and girls, there's a cough. There it is again. All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate you all. I hope this video found you well. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.